Hi everyone, welcome to Alice and Anna. My name is Anna, and as you've seen from the title, today we're talking about probably a very controversial topic. I'm not sure though if it's gonna be very controversial. We'll see. Basically, this new film just came out on Netflix and it's been like a really talked about thing. It's called Blonde and it is about Marilyn Monroe. I feel like everybody knows about Marilyn Monroe. I probably shouldn't like even go into what her life was because she's iconic. She literally is like worldwide famous. But this film I was very concerned about since they announced it. When they announced the cast, I saw that Ana was gonna play Marilyn Monroe, and I'm not entirely sure where she's from, but she speaks Spanish as her first language, and whenever she speaks English, I hear a very strong accent. And I've never seen her in a role where she tries to make an American accent, or if I've seen her try it, it hasn't really worked out for me. So as soon as they announced the cast, I was a little bit concerned because in my head I was like, okay, if they made this choice, it means that they're not really relying on dialogues. They're not really like gonna give her like these big like lines or anything. They're just, and that concerned me a little bit because I was like, this is Marilyn Monroe's story. So I was really wary about the movie for a long time already. So I didn't jump immediately to watch it. I decided to like wait and see reviews and see what was going on. The reason being, this woman has been so sexualized and so like silenced since she was alive up until now. Like she really has just been non-existent except as a symbol, which is so dumb because she was so smart and witty and like so cool of like an actual human being, but she was just like made this symbol and like that's it. So I was concerned that this was just gonna be like that, like let's make her like a symbol instead of like her story. Once I saw the reviews, like there is a lot of reviews, and with the reviews that's when I officially like decided to boycott it. And here is why. From what I've read and what I've seen, because I have seen a few clips and everything, this movie really just focuses on the roles that the men in her life played in her life, and it just showcases her as this woman that was such a sex symbol, that was abused and slept her way through the top. And a lot of the things, they're not confirmed and they just use it in the film, and they were so focused on recreating like iconic photographs from her life that they didn't explore her like actual life in a way. So from what I've read and what I've seen, this is just a film that sexualizes her. And my sister saw it and she even pointed out to me like she wasn't sure anymore if they were sexualizing Marilyn Monroe or if they were sexualizing Ana because comparing the photographs that they've recreated to like the actual photographs, they've gone like a step further sometimes. From what I read, there's like a lot of rape scenes, a lot of like her sleeping her way through the top and all those things. But they haven't like explored like why she was so haunted, or like for example how smart she was. Like not many people know, but she actually had like her own production company, and she was so strong and so like ahead of her time, I would say. And none of those factors like came into play in this film, and it's just a little bit disturbing. I mean, I don't know if you know, but Marilyn Monroe is so sexualized that when she was buried in a crypt, and a crypt has like different layers, so you can like, you stack people basically on top of each other. And the person who bought the crypt for like millions of dollars on top of her requested to be buried face down so he could always be on top of Marilyn Monroe, and they did it. And she's still there to this day with that guy there. Like even in death, she is sexualized and like, I don't know, violated. It's so, and like Hugh Hefner's like sleeping next to her or like resting next to her because he requested it as well, and he bought that crypt just to sleep next to Marilyn Monroe. So like there is just so much that Hollywood has done to that poor woman, and then they come out with this biopic that doesn't actually tell her story. It just tells like a perspective, a very male perspective of her story. The cinematography is beautiful, the production design is beautiful, and from what I've heard and the little clips that I've seen, Ana is actually really great in it. Like she is good, and that's pretty much like most of the reviews that I've seen. Like, oh, Ana is amazing. That's it. Like everything else is disturbing and it's horrible, and like I did not enjoy this film. And I do remember in an interview, Ana said like she felt like Marilyn's presence and like she felt almost haunted. And I believe that. I don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe in the power of an angry woman. And if someone was making a biopic about me without any of my input, like whatsoever, or any of my POV, I would definitely come back from the dead to haunt them. So like, that's an indication like Marilyn was not happy. I did read a lot of reviews, but the one that really like was the most eloquent and, you know, pinpointed everything down was a New York Times one. I'm gonna include the link down below if you want to read a little bit more. They have like a lot more in-depth like analysis about why this film is like not cool. And I think that's the one that I enjoyed the most because it had like very firm reasons and it just spoke very well to what I'm trying to say, which is I'm not good at saying stuff. So yes, after all of this, a lot of people might tell you like, oh, the thing is, it's not actually like a biopic, it's based on a novel. And that is very true. It is like fiction technically. But what pisses me off about this is that this biopic is fully marketed as her side of the story and her life and her perspective kind of thing. And like Marilyn Monroe, as you've never seen her before, but like, yeah, we've never seen her that way because she's like, that's a myth and like it's a novel and they dramatized her life and there's a lot of instances that probably are fake because it was made for a novel. So it pisses me off that they're marketing it as something that it isn't. From a producer standpoint, which is like where I'm looking this from, I just find this film so unethical because if you're gonna tell a story of a character and you're gonna like twist it around, that is totally fine, but you have to advertise that at the beginning and almost at the end of the film because this is a person you're talking about. And like, I know that she's dead, but like, I don't think she would have liked lies about her life being told, or like, maybe it wasn't lies, but like dramatized versions of her life being told. Since she's not here, like there's no way for her to defend herself. So like, as a filmmaker, I think it's super important to remain very, very, very objective when you're talking about someone and you're making a story about them. And that means not basing it off a novel and basing it off like actual facts. But if you're gonna make a novel, just make sure that people know it's a novel and it's fiction. And they did not do that. So I don't find it very ethical. So that's my criticism, and that's why I'm not gonna be watching it. I don't feel like I wanna impulse and like give views and applause to the male gaze on a story that has been told billions of times and has been exploited already. I don't find it like worth it. I don't find like my time is worth exploiting her once again. Like, I don't think it's fair and I don't think it's gonna happen, at least not on my Netflix account. Those are my reasons, and there are a lot more if you want to see like the article that I put down there, and there is a lot more. So if you literally just Google blonde reviews, you're gonna see a lot of them and you can make your own opinion and see if you want to see it or not. I don't know, but if you have seen it, let us know what you think about the movie down in the comment section below. I would love to see what other people think, because after some research, I've seen a lot of negative things, and then the people who do like it do love it, but they do seem to be like a third or a fourth of like the reviews. So let us know down there in the section below, and leave a like if you can, or if you like this video. Mwah. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.